Wake up, Jacob. It's me, IP. If you're rocking with the vibe, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these updates. I just go on at random, so I don't really usually expect anyone to be there at random. That's why I recommend hitting the notification bell. But I was looking at an article here, and this one happens to be in the New York Times, and it's talking about whether or not we should wear masks. I'm gonna drop right into it. Actually, there's a couple of news and notes on there. So shalom, shalom, everybody who may be jumping on. Um, right here says New York Times right there, as you can see there, is talking about coronavirus live updates. Okay. I'll get to the mask here in just a second, but it says roughly 4 billion people have been told to stay in their homes, but some U.S. states have resisted such measures. New job report shows staggering losses are likely to get worse. Staggering losses are likely to get worse. Are you guys understanding? Okay, so let's see what we can pull from that. Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York said he would sign an executive order giving the state the power to seize and redistribute medical equipment, including ventilators, from hospitals with lower needs and private sector companies. All right, so let's see what else is coming in there about the mask. All right, should we wear masks? The White House and public health officials are debating the advice. So let's see what they're talking about, right? The Trump administration is deeply divided about whether to urge all Americans to wear masks when they leave their homes, with White House advisors and public health officials engaged in a debate that has stalled a public announcement that's using them could prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Okay, well, one, there's a couple of things going on, brethren, is one, you're going to run short on, just like, gloves and sanitizer and things like that. One, you're going to run short on it. You're going to run short on the mask, right? And then two, like we're talking about, like I was talking about with the gloves and not being able to properly apply them, put them on, take them off, and dispose of them when you're done. People will reuse them or touch the mask, touch their face and things like that, and they'll get themselves sick. So they're kind of doing themselves more harm than good, right? So again, they're talking about it may be like a false sense of security, but let's just see what they're talking about. Top officials at the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention are pushing for President Trump to advise everyone, even people who appear to be healthy, to wear a mask when shopping in the grocery store or in other public places, arguing that doing so will reduce the number of people who get infected. But there's that big but they have right here. But some White House officials have resisted, according to a top CDC official who has seen emails from people in the West Wing. I'll continue. Give me a 100 if you guys can hear me. The official said that people around Mr. Trump are pressing him to limit the mask wearing guidance only to people in areas of widespread transmission, right? That has CDC officials worried because the virus has already spread, largely undetected, to most parts of the country. Wearing masks everywhere across the country, including in places where the cases of the virus have not already spiked, could let's see here. Virus have not already spiked, could help slow the rate of infection significantly, the CDC officials believe. In some parts of the country, including Los Angeles and New York, local officials have already been urging residents to cover their faces. Deborah Birx, the coordinator of the White House coronavirus response on Thursday, expressed serious reservations, saying that asking all Americans to wear masks could inadvertently send a signal that it's all right to abandon social distancing and return to public life as long as you're wearing a mask. Okay, I understand that. They're gonna think, well, I got my mask on, I got my gloves on, my mask on, I'm good. Everything, I can live life like normal. So I can see that. We don't want people to feel like, oh, I'm wearing a mask. Look at that. We don't want people, well, I'm wearing a mask, I'm protecting others, Dr. Birx said at the daily briefing. We want to make sure everybody understands it is not a substitute for the president's guidelines that have already gone out, and to be obviously absolutely clear about that. Others of the White House have expressed concern that asking all Americans to wear masks could heighten the shortage of masks needed for hospital workers and first responders if people suddenly try to acquire for themselves the protective gear already in short supply. Others worry that Americans will not be as socially accepting of wearing a mask as some people in other countries, especially in Asia. Yeah, they many people believe that Americans have a hard time adapting to certain things, because remember what I said in many other live streams, that you have a different you have a different governmental structure, you have a different culture, a different society, different set of rules. It's just a little bit different. So although we are all humans, we don't live under the same rules as far as your country of origin is concerned. We don't always live on the same rules, so we don't think that we don't want to give up some of our liberties, so to speak. We don't want to stop any of that type of stuff. So it's just kind of a weird thing. We don't adopt things too quickly because of our cultural differences, is what I mean to say. Okay, if people want to wear them, they can, he said. They can pretty much decide for themselves right now, okay? So they're saying, hey, if you want to wear it, wear it, Let me see what you guys talking about. With a little bit of commentary and some roll call. Let's see who's in there. Let's see who's in the chat here. Let's see what you guys doing. Let me turn this down. All right. Ronnie Rayner, shalom, bro. Shalom, shalom. Unique takes us so your chin. Go. What's going on? Shalom, shalom. Frank Stockton, shalom, shalom. And man, that's one brother who's getting it done. Really, all these brothers. I'm looking at all these brothers getting it done. These guys are getting it done. Very, very inspirational. Evan Davis, shalom, shalom. What's going on? Glad you guys can hear me. And okay, guys saying hello to each other. Shalom. Okay, brother Frank, brother Ron. All right, cool. Al Wilson, shalom, shalom. I had to pretty much wear a mask. It'll just fall off. Too much shine. Okay, gotcha. Okay, no need for a mask if I stay home. Too much sauce. yeah. I mean, if you stay home, you really don't need a mask. Okay. Shalom. LaFrance Hart, how's it going? Shalom. There she is. Sister Kimberly Wells. Awesome. I said LaFrance Hart, Kimberly Wells, Rainer. Adhere C. Shalom, brother. How's it going? Hope all is well with you and your household. Hey, brethren, brothers, sisters, all that. Hey, let everybody know if everything's good on your end, where you are, how things are going, and hopefully it's good. We want a good report. Every live stream doesn't have to be this uber negative, thing like that. Just if everything's going good. I'll go first. Everything all is well with me. Everything is good. Still good on the supplies and all the things, that we need, stuff like that. Get a little bit stir crazy. I get out, on the land sometime and, try to get some things done. I can only get so much done, but what I can get done, I will get done. Little things. Working on big projects, really just kind of clearing some area, because again, we're talking about raw land. So just clearing some area, and I have some stuff. I have some things I need to get done. I really want to get done. I mean, I'm looking at. Anyway, I get a little stir crazy, so I'll just put it like that. I get a little stir crazy, and I want to get things done. But you guys go ahead and update us. What's going on with you and your household? Hope that everybody is in good health, and may Yah have His hedge protection over each head and their household. Says half the planet is on lockdown. Let's see here. Nearly 4 billion people on the planet. Half of humanity found themselves on Friday under some sort of order to stay in their homes. But some U.S. states are still resisting the most stringent measures, including North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Arkansas. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, said that he believed that social distancing measures should be extended in every state. The tension between federally mandated versus state rights to do what they want is something I don't want to get into, he told CNN on Thursday. But if you look at what's going on in this country, I just don't understand why we're not doing that. The lockdowns have led to a collapse of the global economy, vaporizing 10 million jobs in the United States in just 2 weeks. Global stocks, which had surged on Thursday after a wishful tweet from Mr. Trump, About the oil markets, it dipped again on Friday amid growing fears that the pain will be profound and prolonged. Governments have promised trillions of dollars in a desperate effort to limit the damage. But the virus's ferocious global assault continues. At least 1 million infections have been detected worldwide, but experts suspect the true number is far larger because of the asymptomatic cases and delays in widespread testing. The Australian medical chief estimated that there are between 5 million and 10 million cases, as Beijing and Washington declared a detente in their sniping. And it emerged that the CIA had been warning the White House since at least February that China was vastly underestimating the scale of the crisis, limiting the usefulness of its data in its predictive models. Ooh, so they're just like, it's just like they knew a little something. They were downplaying it, and if we had the real information, then we could have acted accordingly. We could have used that data, but they were, soft selling the whole idea. See what you guys got going on right now. Don't be like the don't be like the students at Vanderbilt. They partied after it was told to stay home, and about half of them got the Rona. Yeah, about half of them got the Rona. Okay. Unique say, I'm working on my fifth bed, bro. I'm about to do that, man. I just gotta stay busy. I cannot sit around. I can't do it. Let's see here. Good health here. My company, however, placed us on furlough for 2 weeks, but thanks to y'all, I still have a job. Yeah, Evan Day, absolutely, brother. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and here, see, it's pretty bad in New York City, but my household is sheltered in. We only go out if it's really necessary. We are stocked well with supplies. That's good to hear. That's good to hear at here, see. All right, and my wife is unaffected as she is the director of school counseling at nearby high school in VA. All right. Shalom, House of Lead. You joined us. Thanks for joining us. You know it's not that bad when the unsweetened tea is left behind at the store. Absolutely. How bad can it be? Continuing, he said model makers are now being guided by other grim data, most of it coming from Europe. The staggering death toll in Italy and Spain, accounting for nearly half of the 53,000 deaths worldwide, rose yet again. But the crisis is deepening across the continent, with more than 5,000 deaths in France, nearly 3,000 in Britain, and more than 1,000 in both Germany and Belgium. The number of recorded deaths in the United States topped 1,000 in a single day for the first time. So we've had 1,000 in a single day. This is truly a plague of biblical proportions. In New York City, the center of the country's outbreak, both hospitals and morgues struggled to meet surging demand. At his Friday briefing, Governor Andrew Cuomo said 2,900 people, 2,935 people had died in the state, up from 2,373 on Thursday morning. He said he would sign an executive order giving the state the power to seize and redistribute medical equipment, including ventilators, from hospitals with lower needs and private sector companies. The executive order was meant to direct resources where they were most needed in the state, particularly in New York City and Long Island, where the virus had affected the most people. Quote, I'm not going to let people die because we didn't redistribute ventilators, said the governor. And as he has all week, Mr. Cuomo emphasizes on Friday that the crisis was national. He said there is no governor who is arguing that their state's rights are being trampled, Mr. Cuomo said, emphasizing that the federal government was being asked to take the lead on responding to the crisis. And he said that the spread of the virus was, by definition, a national emergency, guys, a national emergency. So, it's just unprecedented. This is just really unprecedented as, what is happening. But again, I'm you know what? I at a time like this, we got to have like a calming effect, right? because I'm looking at, or I'm thinking, well, I'm looking at, and I'm not seeing very many of your average, your modern Sunday preachers. You guys let me know if you see anything, because I don't see anything, right? Your average, Sunday preacher or whatever, what are they saying? They're not saying, I mean, they're quiet. They're quiet. I mean, I think I seen a couple of, TD Jakes, messages, which is, you know, he's about really about nothing, right? But my question is, why haven't you been warning people all along? Why does it take some Israelite pastor, preacher or shepherd or whatever? Why does it take them to say, "Hey, you know what? Come out of her, my people." Why does it take them to have to give this message of doom and gloom, which is really just really what's really happening? They just really sounded the alarm, right? But now all your parishioners, all your congregants are left unprepared. All these Sunday preachers. What did they say? What did they say? What was it? It was all just a feel good, same message that you can predict every single week. The same feel good messages. The same, you're a victor, not a victim type of message out there. And look at what it has gotten to people who listen to those messages, who follow them. Now, for those who listen to shepherds of the Most High, those who listen to Israelite pastors, the ones who are telling you to come out, the ones who are telling you to prepare all this time, the ones who are telling you to be set apart, be holy, come out of her, my people, that whole thing. They don't look so crazy now. I digress a little bit, but I'll talk about it more. I may do a Bible study on the other channel on the Fountain of Israel, do a Bible study or something, and maybe mention it then. May do it maybe tonight. Maybe tonight to bring in a Sabbath, or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. We'll do that on the Fountain of Israel on the YouTube page, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. And then of course I got to do a Passover lesson, and just kind of talk about the Passover that's coming up. Yes, I know there's some people who've already done the Passover. Don't ask me how they done. I don't know. I don't. So we will see. Let's see what else we have. Last but not least, and then that's not a surprise. It says U.S. economy had added jobs for 113 months in a row, dating from the early period of the recovery of the Great Recession. That has come to an end. The labor part, 100,000 jobs in March. That number, while staggering, is expected to worsen in the coming months. The data released on Friday was mostly collected in the first half of the month before began to. Nearly 10 million people applied for unemployment benefits in the past 2 weeks. Okay, 10 million. Okay, this is nothing compared to what we're going to see, said Stephanie Pomboy, president of Macro Mavens, an independent research firm. Indeed, the March unemployment rate of 4.4% could rise to double digits as soon as next month. U.S. stocks opened lower on Friday after a drop in Europe, setting up a downbeat into another turbulent week in financial markets. The S&P 500 was down sharply, extending Thursday. And again, this is just my opinion. This is my opinion, but it's gonna hurt for a while. Be a new normal. I was talking to earlier, be a new news asking me, do I think it's gonna get back to normal? And I said it's gonna be like a new normal. Be clear, right? And we consider how we used to go. Hey, we used to go to the airport. You buy your ticket, you show your ticket, and just go through. You gotta pretty much, darn near get undressed. Gotta take off your belt. Gotta take off your shoes. Gotta put everything in buckets and stuff and go through there. It takes a long time. You used to be able to get to an airport, nap